This is Tim, and in this video, we're going to break into a training on discovery, how to find pain, how to find problems, and how to use pain and problems in discovery to get objectionless closes. So if you're a sales rep and you're stuck at 3, 4, or 5K per month, and you want to increase your commissions to break past that $10,000 to $20,000 a month mark, this video is going to help you do that. Or if you're a setter and you want to get better at sales so that you can eventually become a closer, this is an in-depth training. I sit down with a couple of my more advanced sales reps in our level 5 ramp-up session. This is in protocols in my sales training program, and we sit down and we do role plays on discovery. We dig into pain and we break down pain theory. We do it live. So I break down with them how to find pain in discovery and how to use pain in a discovery to make sure that you minimize the chance of getting objections. This is a really in-depth training. It's a bit more advanced. So if you're a complete beginner, I don't know if this is going to be so helpful for you unless you really love sales and you love the psychology of communication. There's a lot of things you will learn here. But if you're a sales rep who wants to make way more money and have an advantage on your calls so that you're getting the most out of your discovery, this training is going to be for you. This is a really, really helpful one, and it's from our protocols training program. Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. I'll see you on the other side.
Well, sweet man, we can jump right into it. On this call, we're going to be looking at kind of your situation right now, like why you want to kind of start this AI business. And then if I think you are a good fit, I'll show you what we do. If we both think that we could actually work together, make this actually happen, we can talk about the investment, hopefully move forward today. If not, you just learn something cool about the space. Sound good?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
So what are you doing kind of right now for work, for like a income?
I'm a manager at a hotel currently. It's been a couple of years now. I've been promoted recently, so a lot, much more on my hands, to be honest.
That's nice. That's nice. Give me like the goods, the bads, the ugly on where you're at right now.
Well, I'll start with the bad. I have way more responsibilities, way more hours to cover, just more shit to deal with on the day to day.
How much
Like
time?
per day working.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say usually between 9 and 10, but it always go more like 11, 12 because there's always some issues to deal with.
Okay.
And we have a small team, so
Okay.
it's yeah.
I see. I see. So what has you looking to get into like starting your own AI business? Is it mostly the time for you, or what else are you looking to find?
Yeah, no, it's time definitely. Because the good thing about the new job is I make more money. So I want to
How
make
much
that
how
kind of
much?
money per month. So I'm sitting between, I would say eight, 9.
Okay. And then with the AI business, what's your monetary goal with that?
I would say if everyone's talking about 10, and I just want to hang higher and go for like 15, 20, to be honest.
Yeah, easy. We have a guy. His name's Mario. I think he was from Spain. He's been with us for I think 4.5 months now, and he's at like 20K months retainer. True
Yeah,
story.
that's kind of the place I want to be at
Okay.
without having to do like 12 hours days.
Yeah, no one wants to do that. So it's like 10, 15K to you. We'll call it 15. What
Mhm.
have you been trying? I know you've been at this hotel for some time now. What have you been trying to actually find a different vehicle to take to actually make money?
Uh, Not much to be honest, because I spend so much time at work,
Hmm.
and I would say I'm looking to make that transition phase easier for myself.
Okay. So have you been looking at other companies, other ways to make money outside of the hotel, or have you just been sitting there kind of like swamped and okay
No, I
with staying where
know.
you are?
Basically, I know like AI is huge. You can basically automate everything, and I really want to like detach myself like from
Okay.
time for money. So that's that's basically the idea with AI. To be honest, it's just like leveraging that because I know it's huge. I know everyone's using it.
Yeah. AI is definitely cool. It doesn't mean like everyone should just start an AI business,
Mhm.
you know. How
Yeah.
long have you wanted to get out of the hotel?
Uh, the
You're
thing
you're
is, I
you're
have
muted, Tim. I should have tied that
My bad,
question
I'm
to
muted.
Holy
Yeah,
Grail.
I said pause. Yeah, so let's not forget the question that he asked. He said, how long have you wanted to get out of the AI business? Let's not forget that. Boys, Lucas is in the middle of a role play, so can you let him focus if you don't mind? Or Lucas, I could switch you.
They don't hear shit, but I
No, it's not
told them
about
to
them
leave.
hearing. It's just they're gonna talk to you and like
Yeah.
engage you and
That's why.
distract you.
I
Okay,
told them.
so what I would want here, and this is interesting, Anders, have you made a mental note? There's a couple of things that I've noted down, and I'm gonna curious what you've seen, Niko, and what you've seen, Matt. I've made mental notes of a couple of things that are gonna affect the way that I'm gonna sell to Lucas. There's a couple of mental notes around that. What are those things, Anders?
He doesn't want to spend much of time doing it. He probably has low commitment towards actually making this change. So I have to hit commitment super hard.
Why would he have low commitment towards making the change? What indicator do you get to see his low commitment towards making change?
The proof that he's low commitment is that he hasn't made any efforts for the past time period to actually get out.
And what does he use as a rationale to say why he hasn't made any efforts?
Time.
So the way I approached it, does anyone else want to add on to this and give perspective on this whole weird time thing? Is anyone picking up something here? Okay. Or go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, only thing I was going to say is like assign with the obviously with the busyness, whatever, actually assign and understand how much time that is, what that looks like across a week. Why does he want to change? Assign the context and value to what's actually missing in his life to create the pain around it, which will bring some urgency. And then when we then go to talk about limiting belief, there's like a reason behind it why you should change his beliefs.
Correct. So yes, here's what I see happening. We're kind of going down a place where the call has a very high likelihood of getting out of your control. Because in Niko, I think you need to understand this too. Everyone who watches this recording as well. So when you're selling, the prospect will oftentimes give you hints and indicators as to where they're at as an individual, the things that they believe are holding them back. But oftentimes the things that they believe are holding them back are not actually things that hold them back, but they're things that are going against them making a purchasing decision that's going to benefit their lives. So the thing that I hear here is Lucas saying, time has been the reason why I haven't started anything. If he starts today with you guys in the program, XYZ coaching program, AI XYZ, is he going to have more time than he had last week?
Not for the first 2 or 3 weeks.
He's not.
Depending on his approach, it's possible, but
depending on his approach, but I'm saying he won't have, I don't think he's going to quit his job in next month. It just doesn't make sense. So his busy schedule is going to remain a constant. So there's certain things in sales. This is some new training. We haven't gone into this, guys. We've gone into this, but we haven't gone into it from this way. Okay. There's certain things in discovery that are what we call constants. They're constants, meaning they're things that are consistently in someone's life that are not going to change based on what we sell them. They'll change over time. So in 6 months, he will have more time because he's done the AI business. But as of right now, him being in a position where he doesn't have a lot of time isn't going to change. Right? So him saying the reason I haven't taken action on this because I don't have time, if you sell him under that framing, what's the default? I don't have time. Let me get back to you once I ease up my work schedule a little bit. Then we have the objection there. Does it make sense, Niko? Do you see how the objection starts to manifest? You know what another one of this is? It's an easy one. What is it? One huge common one. A constant.
Actually, I have a question on that time thing.
Before you have the question, what's another one? I remember it, Niko. But what's a constant?
Family and money.
There we go. Easy. Family. I didn't even think family. I don't know where you're getting family from. That could be interesting.
I don't know.
Family in what sense?
I just guess. Like if they're busy with their kids, they're not going to magically not be busy with their kids.
Oh, busy life. So that I'll put that under time.
Okay.
But I'm talking about money. Money's a big one. That's the one that was in my head. Money. I don't have a lot of liquid. So like, why haven't you done XYZ? Well, because finances have always been tight. What does this mean now? I'm going to need to reframe that in discovery. Doesn't mean reframe. Don't put a lot of energy on it, guys. Like, oh my God, this huge reframe. Just a little bit of a discussion on where they're at and who they want to be. I'm going to have to reframe that because if I let it go, the place that they're operating from when I pitch them, if we don't address it, is going to be money's the thing holding me back and money is not going to change when they start the program. All right.
Yeah.
So we need to have dialogue with Lucas where we get him to a different position in his relationship to time. And I'll give you the answer, Anders. I don't want you to have to do it blindly, and then I'll take your question, Niko.
Can I tell you what my plan is?
Sure.
My plan was to get the gap of how long, or not gap, the time of how long he's wanted to get out, and then go back and address the time issue, because it's a priority issue, not a time issue in my head.
Okay.
And then reframe it after that. Would you do that, or would you just do it right here?
I would do it now, but it doesn't matter. You could do it later if you want. So you said you want to do that, so do it later. But what we're going to need to do, because I want you to execute on this, because I think it'll be better for the training for you to get better. What you need to do is you need to question essentially his relationship to time. Like kind of like, again, him saying, I haven't done it because I don't have the time. Question and challenge, do you really not have the time, or is it that you haven't prioritized it? I'm not telling you need to directly ask him that question one. You may need to water the soil for a second. I'm not going to tell you how to do that, but where we need to get him to logically, you guys should all lock in and be aware of this. Logically is there is actually time that you do have. There's probably people who have less time than you who find ways to do it. So essentially, why can't you? Is it really about the time? Then we get him to pivot and say, no, I haven't prioritized it. Okay, you haven't prioritized it because of what now? And then what has changed? And now that we changed the framing he's taking, positioning he's taking, now we have a stronger case to pitch from. Niko, what was the question you were going to have?
Yeah, because I had something like this yesterday where the dude said he was just busy with time, and I was like, well, realistically, brother, and this is my scripting. I was like, I'm not trying to attack you here, but I'm trying to hold you accountable. And that last couple months, would it be fair to say it wasn't impossible to make 10 to 15 hours out of your week to actually put towards whatever YouTube automation? And he conceded. So I was like, would it be fair to say, like, going into this, there's not going to be a correct time. You're going to be busy. You're going to be uncomfortable while starting. But would that be fair to say that's not an excuse in terms of actually starting something that's going to lead you this 10K a month? He conceded. He's like, yeah, you're right. It's a good perspective on it. And I was like, I don't want to be right. I want to make sure you understand with it. And he's like, yes. And then we come to the end of the call, and he gives this literally an objection on the same thing. He's like, yeah, I just want to start in a couple months. Money will be better, and I'll just feel ready just because I moved into an apartment. So I just went like back and forth on it. It was like just like a mask. It came down to him saying he doesn't have the money for it, but he literally did, because he had stocks, and like I was literally got him on Split It. He had approved Split It for like $280 a month. So I just literally couldn't get him couldn't give him over the edge.
He wouldn't do it on Split It at $280 a month.
Yeah, like he literally said next couple months will be better, and I was just like dumbfounded. I'm like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. There's two things. One might be on you, but one is on him. Like, you guys know I'm all about taking responsibility, etc. Like, I'm all about responsibility. But sometimes, like, you can bring someone right to the edge, but you cannot bring them over. You know this, Matt. Like, you can't do it for him, right? So if you're telling me, and I know your skills, you know what you're doing. So you took him to the very edge, challenged him in every way, etc. And if you got him approved for 280, and even that can't get him over, there's that. But then maybe your scripting, when it came to diffusing and giving him space to almost invest in the objection, so you really know what's going on, and you can really cut it to the core. I would guess that that's probably something you didn't do well enough. He might not have even purchased. But this would be an interesting call to look at, maybe. Or you'll get more data, get more this week.
Yeah.
Let's do a review of it on Friday, and see what's going on. But it could be that too. Yeah. Those two things. One, a lot of it's just on him, man. If he can't find it within himself, you don't have to take responsibility for that. But from a skill set standpoint, maybe something you could do better is the way that you break down fear and the conversation you have around fear with someone. Cool. Easy. Anders, let's jump back in the hot seat. You were asking him, you said, how long has it been going on? Something that was the question, I believe.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Lucas, how long have you been working at the hotel where you've wanted to find a different way to make money and wanted to find something where you have more time?
I mean, it's always been a thing for me, to be honest, but I really feel it more since I've been promoted, I would say.
Mm-hmm. When was that?
The promotion?
Yeah.
That was January.
Okay. So 10 months then. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I can't imagine that's been easy for you, sitting there wanting to do something different, but being like kind of stuck there. How's that been?
Pause. I don't love the question, Anders. Do you think that it's been extraordinarily difficult for him? I don't think it has, because some of the language Lucas said He's gotten a promotion recently. He's making okay money where it's a livable wage, and he probably has a little bit more than what he needs. He's living comfortably. If he's a hotel manager in Europe, I guess he's okay. All right.
Okay.
And it seems like the thing that he wants is more freedom. So you asking him, I can't imagine that's been easy for you, is just not going to resonate with him energetically as a person. It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Does it make sense why I'm saying that?
Yeah, that does make sense.
Like imagine I'm talking to you about protocols right now, or even a couple months ago, like military. Okay, I want to have something after this. Like I can't imagine it's been easy for you being in the military, not having anything after it. I mean, dude,
Fuck, yeah,
it's
you're
not
right.
hard for you. Okay, let's go again.
Lucas, when you're at the work, is it something that you think about often, like finding a way out? Does that come up in your head often?
And
Sam, what's something
James.
better?
I don't think he's going to be sitting thinking about it often at work. I think he's probably largely complacent.
Okay,
I would
so
also
just
guess.
don't ask anything here. Get back to time.
Well, yeah, I would. Well, what do you want? Let's look at outcomes. What outcome are you trying to get for the call?
I wanted to get a pain right now, not like the main huge pain, but just a pain, and then go the time priority route, and then go back to problems.
Okay, so I wrote a note on that earlier. I didn't bring it up yet. I was curious if you were going to do it. So you want more pain around what? Perfect. I like this. This where your head is at. Pain around what?
Pain around him not having time.
Good. Okay, cool. I would have done the time reframe earlier, by the way, but we didn't do that yet. So fine. So if we're going to get pain around time, we need to find a way to like label it. We talked about it here. The pain one. Right here. It says the word label there. You can't see it, it's blurry, but we have labeling. We have to label the pain. We have to label it and turn it into something that's real, it's tangible. So you almost started doing it earlier, and I was surprised you let it go. That's what the note that I wrote. I said, don't let go of time. Use it as an anchor. I have it here.
Okay.
And you didn't. At the beginning, you said, how many hours are you working, Lucas? What was the answer you gave, Lucas? I don't remember. Do you remember what you said?
12 hours days.
It was like
12-hour days.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, he's done. He's going to scale that out. But then you went on to something else about what have you done to try to fix it? So right there, I would have gone pain, but fine. Since we're not going to do it, we didn't do it back then. We could do it now. I'll jump in for a second. So we said, how long has it been? What was the answer Lucas gave to that? So I can make it more natural. What was the answer you given to the previous? You said 10 months.
How long has it been?
What did Anders ask before where we were at now? It was like how long? It was a time question of some around something.
How long have you wanted to XYZ instead of the job?
Gotcha. And Lucas said 10 months. Cool. So I'll jump back in, Lucas. We're in the role play. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been 10 months. And again, you're working 12-hour days now.
Yeah, I mean it's 4 days a week, but yeah, it's 12 hours days.
And the 3 days outside of that, you have complete freedom to do whatever you want.
Well, I have kids and wife, but I have time. I just, to be honest, I spend like no time with them for the first 4 days of the week. Maybe an hour with the wifey, and just the 3 days I'll just spend with my children.
Why do you want more than 3 days? Like, is that not good enough for you? So I'm going to pause because Lucas fucked up my process. I was going to do something different. That's fine. This is good. I'm explaining to you what's going on in my head. So here's what I had anticipated. My neck, he actually literally ruined it, which is great because I can adjust. But what I was going to say was 12-hour days. And I was about to say, and I could imagine you probably have to go in on a weekend sometimes too, don't you, working in hospitality? I don't know anyone who's working in hospitality, like who is full-time, who works 4 hours a week. But if Lucas is playing that character, we'll go with that. So I was just going to assume that he's going in more than Monday to Friday. But he jumped the gun and said, I'm only doing it 4 days a week, which makes it harder. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of start to push back an anti-sell a little bit because he has those 3 days, which a lot of people would want to 3 days. So it sounds like he's in a decent, halfway decent position. Most people get 2 days off. He has 3 days. So why is he not okay with that? I'm using that to save my own position because if I could go like those 4 days are so bad for you, or what I could do is say, well, why not just settle for having the 3 days? Either one. But I feel like the why not, the negative tool here is going to be more valuable for me. Does it make sense, Anders? Because I feel like the answers he could give me from the negative, stick with me, guys. This is some very like advanced discovery logic here. The answers that he could give me on the negative there's less variation for them to go wrong than whatever he'd give me on the other side in the positive. So if I asked him, let's look at probability here, and then Lucas, play it however you want, okay? Just keep it realistic, but keep doing what you're doing. Great prospecting. So let's look at probabilities. If I say, oh, wow, 4 days, 12 hours, like here's a good response that I could give. Maybe if I had to do that, I would say, so 4-hour days, excuse me, 12-hour days, 4 days a week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're not spending time with the family, and I would assume working in hotels, you have to stand and just interact with customers consistently. That's the thing you're doing. He would engage. He would say yes. He would say yes to that. And you would probably say, what's that do for your body? Just mind. Not bad. That's not terrible. It's okay. But in my mind, it's 4 days. It's still 4 days. And that he could run the risk of going really positive too. He could say, yeah, it's 4 days. So I do have those extra 3 days where I get to relax. So instead, to mitigate that, I'm just going to go, dude, you have 3 days. Here's the other side. Let's play it out, Lucas. Go wherever you want. Back to the role play. So you have 4 days. You're working 12 hours. That's a lot, actually, for 4 days. But you also have 3 days where you're off. I feel like a lot of people probably working in hospitality, working in medicine, working with people, just like around people, would be grateful to have 3 days instead of 2.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You're getting greedy with the time, Lucas. What's going on?
No, this is why I'm booking the call in the first place, because I know I have like a couple hours to spare, and I can make that time. I find things to do as of now with the family always, but I would say putting the time now, finding time to have all of that later on down the line. The benefits of having my own business is something that I'm like, I would say, pretty open to do.
Okay, so do we know what's happening now? Are you guys aware and locked in, conscious?
He's justifying him making the change.
Good, but do I like the answer right now?
No, because we don't really have a huge pain. It's benefits focused, not pain focused.
Exactly. So what Lucas did is he said, I'm willing to make change, which is derailing what I'm trying to do. I'm still trying to figure out, why do you hate your current situation? Because brother, you have 3 days free per week. So Lucas just said, yeah, and that's why I want to make change now. So I'm going to say, nice answer, but we're not doing that because I'm trying to get pain here. So my response now, I got that. That's good. I'm still looking at this whole idea of you wanting to replace what you're doing with AI, with an AI, like scalable AI business, because again, you have 3 days free during the week. And I'll tell you right now, Lucas, like starting a business, scaling it, growing it is something that's going to challenge you, is going to at times be a headache. It's going to be difficult. So again, so many other people would be happy to just have an extra day. A lot of people just have 2 days that they have available. Why are you trying to change your circumstances? Why is that not okay for you to just have 3 days? Do you get my question? I'm just confused. I want to see what you want.
I do get your question. It's not more so about the 3 days. It's more so about having to not making my like own choices when it comes to when to work, whatsoever, this kind of things. I'd rather have
right now I'm going to cut him off. So I'm going to pause it. But do you know, I'm showing you guys how I'm walking through it. So he said the frustration now, we've taken the time now and we've made the time even more tangible. It's not just hours, clearly, because he has 3 days free. The 12 hours, 4 days a week is not easy. Trust me. I just don't feel like that's enough. If he said 12 hours, 6 days a week, now we have enough. But he has 3 days of free time. Compared to do all that and to spend 6K, 7K on a program when you have half your week open and the other half sucks, I don't know if we could justify that yet. But now what did we say? He added in, I don't have the control over my time. Do you see how now the time and not having my time and the freedom now becomes more significant and becomes more real, and we catch it live? Okay, so I'm going to cut him off. That's what I would have done. When you say don't have control, they tell you when and how you have to work, Lucas? Like they control kind of all the hours and stuff, or not the hours, but the days of the week?
No, yeah, exactly. I'm always working from Monday to Tuesday. And then there is someone that is doing the managing when I'm not there.
Yeah.
But when I'm there, I'm managing, basically.
Oh, I gotcha. And you're working inside of the hotel? Like you have to be physically there, physically present? You can't do
Yeah, no, I'm there like it's basically from 7 to 8. I have a lunch break at like 1 or 2, depends. There are many people coming in at noon. I have to eat later.
Yeah. It's October now, so the kids are back in school, I assume?
Yeah, since a month and a half now.
So during the day, you're not taking them and just enjoying, like, and engaging in those activities with them. The kids are just in school and you're at work.
For the first 4 days, yeah, I'm basically not doing that.
So, Anders, you know what I'm going to ask?
How is that affecting you? Not being only able to see your kids 3 days?
I like that. It's a little too intense. So you could pull that off, but I'm smiling because I'm being a little funny here because it's a question you asked earlier that I said don't ask, but now we can ask it. How does that feel? Can't imagine that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how now it's really not easy? Before
now there's
was
stuff supporting it. Okay.
Now there's pain, right? So before, what was the pain? Before it was like, oh, I have a work schedule that sucks. Now what's the pain? I can't actually see my kids during the week and my time doesn't belong to me. Now I'll ask it. I mean, I can't imagine that's easy. You being trapped at the hotel dealing with guests from Bumblefuck, who knows where. I probably wouldn't use that language to a prospect. I'm just kind of having fun here, but from who knows where, while you're in the hotel, stand on your feet while your kids are at work, man. I mean, excuse me, while your kids are at school. Can't imagine that's great.
Oh, it's not. This is why I'm here today. I'm trying to, I would say, change that. I want to be there for them, as I would say every good dad. So.
Anders, jump back in. I'm going to guide you though. I want you to start to pivot into the time conversation because he said before the reason he didn't make changes because of time. Let's go there now.
Would you keep digging the problem?
The problem? What do you mean the problem? You're referring to the pain or the problem?
The pain. The pain.
No, we don't need to go more pain. We have it. It's frustrating. Okay. I mean, I'm going to go consequence. That's a further extension of the pain in the future. Remember, pain present
right now,
pasted in the future.
Time first.
No. Right now, though, we need to go that time reframe because he earlier said we never did it yet.
And so, Lucas, what's stopped you in the past year from making a change sooner, like finding a vehicle where you can spend more time with your kids sooner? What's been stopping you?
You should, again, Lucas, answer this with the words "like I said" to start because you had already told him. So you should start with "like I said."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, and I've been in 10 months and I haven't found much, to be honest.
Okay.
Like it's just
yeah.
Just I felt like
I am curious though, because you have 3 like full days off, and I know that you kind of spend that time with the kids and the family, like, but during that time, is there no time where you could actually have put effort into making it?
No, I can make the hours. Was just at first like the new job settling in because I was more so about like 40 hours. Now I'm also about 50, but it's much more compact.
Yeah.
So
Lucas,
I was using.
Sorry to cut you off. Do you feel like time is something that we find, or is time something that we make?
To some extent, you make it, but if like
but
on the 12-hour days, I can't really do much, to be honest. But on the 3 others, I get you. Even though I'm not a big fan of working on Sundays, on Friday and Saturday, I definitely can.
I'll give you a perspective on this. And this is actually something that we talked about in our mentorship because it is important. We make times, and you'll agree with this. We make times for things that are a priority. You know, like your kids right now are a huge priority for them, so you make time with that. Super awesome, super good. Work for you right now is a priority, so you make time for that. Is you now being where you are at now, kind of seeing your situation, is changing your lifestyle so you can have more time with your kids, more time with your family. Is that a priority for you now?
Pause. Anders, control your words more and label it. Perfect scripting. Just when you said your situation, label it, paint the picture, make him walk through his situation live with you with your words.
Okay. So we make times for things that are a priority. So for you right now, your family, your kids, that's a priority for you. That's excellent. You're spending time at work right now. You have to do it, so it makes sense why that might be a priority for you now. For you being where you are at though, kind of realizing your situation where you're stuck at work, you lose a lot of time with your kids. You don't have the freedom, the control. over your time. Is it a priority for you now to actually change that?
Yeah, definitely.
Why?
I'd
Why is it a priority now if it wasn't a priority for you for the past 10 months?
Well, quite simply because I was always about money, and then I mean I never made as much money as I'm making now, and so I have a bit more freedom on that, but I'm still sacrificing like half of my week to make it happen. So I want to make sure that I have the money without the, I would say, downside, not meaning that I don't work at all, but just having, I would say, more control about my own life, not having to clock into, even if I'm the manager,
Yeah.
I don't have to answer on anyone. It's just not my life choices, if that makes sense.
Why now though? Like, why is it a priority now? So we've been in this position for, well, I guess you got like the promotion. You've been stuck on your feet for this 12 hours for the past like 10 months. You've been working this job
Mm.
for longer than that, you know? So I am curious, what actually changed? What was the moment when you realized, hey, this is not how I want to work until I'm 40, 50, whenever you retire?
I mean, at first, it was definitely weird. It was definitely weird because I was not used to work that much in like a single day. And I could always see my children like a bit in the morning and a bit in the evening as well. And now it's like I literally cannot see them. Maybe an hour, right, during the evening. So uh,
When did that
I would
click
say
in your head? Like, how long has it clicked that you cannot keep doing what you're doing?
mm, it's not that I can't, right? Because I'm still making money. I still am the provider that I want to be in my family. It's just something that I want to change. But I would say that has been the case ever since I got promoted, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
at first it was great when I got like when you get paid, you see like 8, 9 per month coming in. And then I would say April, May, I was like, yeah, I can't keep doing that.
Yeah.
Because you get used to the money you're making. So
Yeah. Is this a want or a need for you? Because I know that you said that you could keep doing this. Why would it not be okay for you to continue missing
oh
out on the
just
time with your kids and being on your feet 12 hours a day?
just because I'm not this is not what I want in terms of not the making money aspect, but in terms of the input, in terms of having to clock in and don't have like I would say time and geographic freedom as important for me as like financial. Now I have financial, but it's just one third.
Mm. Interesting.
Lean into consequence here now, Anders. Where were you going to go next?
I feel like we've kind of burnt out time and we've burnt out priority. So I was either going to go desire or fear, but I think fear would be better here.
Go consequence. It's a natural segue right now because we're in a negative state, and consequence is something you can very strongly anchor to here with him. I think his consequence is going to be stronger than his desire.
Okay.
Like if this continues, what does that look like as your children get older? I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. Lucas, how old are your kids right now?
Yeah, 3 and 5.
3 and 5. That's a young age. They're rambunctious at that age. I think my niece is 3 right now.
Yeah.
Dude, if you stay where you are working the hours that you work 4 days a week and you basically just don't see him for 4 days a week,
Yeah.
how does that affect your relationship with them over the next 5, 10 years? Or even now, like, because they're young, I'm sure you want to be with them when they're young. Like, how does that affect things moving forward?
Um I don't want to like see them grow, but like too fast. If that makes sense because I'm not there. I want to like be there every single step of the way.
Yeah.
Especially that, I have 2 boys. So the relationship that I have is going to be different than the one they have with their mother, if that makes sense. So I want to be sure to be able to actually be present for them.
Yeah. I don't have kids yet, but I will someday. And I feel like when they are young, like those memories you can't get back. 1, 2, those is probably what we cherish the most. At least that's what people have told me. You can tell me if that's super like off the mark. What would it feel like for you if you never got that relationship, you weren't there, you didn't get the memories for them? Like looking back 10 years from now, if that were the case, if you let that happen, what would that feel like?
I mean, I'm not there yet, but I'm definitely not okay with that, which is why I want to like prevent that from happening, if that makes
Anders,
sense.
this is the second time. This is twice where Lucas has avoided the question and changed it into a positive. He did it earlier. We let it go, and now you're re-asking him. You kind of conceded it, and had a dialogue with him about it, and then now you're going back to it again, and he's doing the same thing again. You have to cut him off. You can't let him do this.
Okay.
Does it make sense? Because you hear him redirecting it. He's redirecting to a positive. He said, "I'm not willing to let that happen, so I'm going to cut him off." Lucas, brother, I don't think you are either, but I want to know what the feeling would be if it did. Let's say 5 to 10 years from now, you have your children are 8 and 10, and it's been 5 years, 10 years, let's say, of you in the hotel, 12-hour days. Life is going by. You're missing school days. You're missing certain events. You're missing those key moments. You're missing those key times, which has been happening now. What would that feel like, having missed that over years and years, because the priority was always just the career, the money, in a way that didn't serve you, with inputs that didn't serve you? What would the feeling be?
I mean, not good. Yeah, not good.
What does not good mean?
Not.
Tell me more than that. What does not good mean?
Not good means like,
I know it's difficult. I know, or Lucas,
no, yeah, it's just, I would say
it's difficult to answer, but I want you to lean into it because it's an important exercise for us here.
The lack of a father figure, I would say.
Yeah.
Just not being the man that I want to be, because I'm a family man, big time. And if I don't have that, like it would be like a sense of failure, if I can be honest, because I don't give a fuck about what people think of me when I'm at the hotel, right? But my family is first priority.
So with that, dude, would it even be okay a little bit for you to push off making that life that you want, the life where you can spend time with your kids, making that a reality? Like, would it be okay for you to push that off? Because you can, a lot of people do. Why is it necessary for you to actually do that now, though?
I mean, the best time to plant the tree was like 20 years ago.
Anders, what you're trying to do is amazing. The execution that fell apart at the end. You know what it is? Matt, could you hear it? Should be one that you would pick up on.
I don't know, because when you said stack onto it, I thought you meant stack on more like consequence moving forward rather than the urgency. So I was more thinking of like, are we going urgency or are we stacking more onto that?
That was what I meant, actually. That was actually what I meant, but it was fine because I liked Anders' path. I was okay with it. He was going, are you willing to settle for that, basically? But what was not good about the scripting? Lucas, could you hear it? What are you writing, Lucas? Are you following up with closing leads?
No, unfortunately not. It was at the end, but I don't have the precise scripting. But it was the way that he finished the sentence. I forgot it, but it feels like he overspoke a bit.
It sounded like that, but it wasn't exactly the amount of talking. It said he started off with, are you willing to settle for that? And then you switched to, why are you not willing to settle for that? You started open. You said something like that. Is that okay for you to deal with? You said those words. Is it okay for you? And then you added on, why is that not okay for you to deal with? So you gave him the answer and assumed it. Small, but if you're going to create pressure, lean into it. You know what I mean? You basically said, are you willing to settle for that? And then you canceled it out and said, yeah.
I think I do that often. How would you have stacked onto that pain? Because to me, that was like a dead horse.
Dead horse meaning what?
You know, like the phrase, like beat a dead horse, like it.
But I felt there was a little more we could get into that. We could have gotten some more action out of it. That's what I felt.
Where did we leave off? He was just explaining.
He said, as a father, it would basically what he said was I wouldn't be a good example as a father. That's what he said. And the reason I wrote stack onto is because I know what popped into my head to stack onto. I was
As a
curious where you would
father,
come up from. Yeah.
XYZ.
I was gonna say, how would that affect your children seeing their dad kind of over investing it so much in like, you know, just the career, and it's I don't even know if you're investing in it. It's just more just giving your time away, burning your time with that versus investing it back in them. How does that affect their view of you and how they see you? That's probably what I would do to stack onto it. One more pain point. Makes sense?
Yeah. Could you have gone like identity with, I know you could have.
Well, it's fine.
That option versus as a father,
Mhm.
whatever scripting, what would that scripting be? So as a father, why is it necessary for you to XYZ different life?
Yeah, that's good. But again, so here we'll end your role play, Anders, and then I want Matt to rip actually. I want you to get one like another similar full stack since we have time. Really, really good prospecting, Lucas. Like really good stuff. Anders, I'm gonna give you feedback. So just now, even when you went that pathway of as a father, that was good, but I want to just train you in something, bro. And this goes back to what we talked about the last time we worked together here when you said you can't do XYZ now, and I challenged you and pushed back on it. But like you can weaponize your words more. So as a father, if you're gonna go identity, father means a lot of things. There's all kinds of fathers. So when you say father, how can you label the kind of father he wants to be? So instead of saying as a father, what decision do you need to make now? Or as a father, do you want to be the kind of person who does XYZ? Instead, being a father who does create connection, who does have mentorship, who does have the kind of leadership and investment that he wants in his family. There's the labeling now, the kind of father you want to be. So I'm giving it to him. Does it make sense, guys? I'm controlling the frame at all levels. At every single level, I'm controlling the frame. I think, Matt, you do this very well, actually. But when I'm going to role play with you, and I'm going to fight you on some shit, and I'll coach it too. But do you see how I'm labeling the kind of father he wants to be, Anders? So there was a bunch of times here where you missed the labeling of who the prospect can be or their situation. When Lucas was giving you sauce. So if we're talking hotel, let's say we go desire, future pace, right? This is maybe how you might do it. And I want you to be aware to go past this because I think it will help you have more control. Because I've noticed on your calls, I've reviewed a decent amount of your calls right now. You have a very good foundational base, you do, and like you stick to protocol usually, which is why you've been able to stay afloat on your offers and bring some deals over the line. But to be really, really good, you need to be able to stretch out the meaning behind the things that you ask, the things that you say. You have to like squeeze everything out of them, like an orange, like squeezing the juice. So you have to get everything out of it. And one of the ways you get everything out of it is your words. I think Matt does this quite well. Stavros does this well too. So like it's using your words to squeeze everything out of it. So when let's say we go to a future pace now, desire, one way you could do it, which sounds good but is not enough, would be so Lucas, when we put you in a position where you're out of the hotel and you're giving that freedom, like you're giving that time back to your family, what does that really do for you just as a father? What does that do for you as a leader, as a husband personally? That sounded really good. It sounded saucy, right? But that is not enough. It could be enough, sure, but I think you could do even more. Here's a better version of that. So Lucas, when you like take control of your time, and we help you to get out of the hotel and reinvest that back in your family every day, where you're making money literally remotely, seeing income come in passively because the business you've built, and you're investing that time back in the people who matter most. You're giving that to them. What does that really do for you personally as a father, as a leader, as a husband, as a mentor, as a guide? Tell me about how that fits into your life exactly, and what benefit does that have to you over time? I exaggerated it. You don't need to go that far, but I want you to start to label and squeeze more out of your words. So if you say a why now, let's use a different prospect. Let's pretend you're talking to a woman who's been working as a fitness trainer. Okay, she's fitness trainer. She's 38. She's in the gym though, not like cool fitness trainer online scaling, but just like in the gym fitness trainer. And she's like, I'm getting older. I don't want to be doing this now. I want to do something online. I love AI. I'm invested very much into it. And let's say you ask her a why now. Good, here's great. Good way. So Shelly, what was the reason behind you wanting to, get out of the gym and make changes now and start to build a business now? What was the trigger behind that? Doesn't sound bad. Better version. So Shelly, what was the reason or the trigger behind you saying in your own mind, like, I'm no longer going to be stuck. Stuck is the first label in the gym. I'm no longer going to be stuck just pushing weights around, dealing with clients consistently, hands-on, but I'm going to build something scalable online and kind of take control of my future. What led to that being a priority for you now? That was better. Okay, I'll end with this, and I'm ranting. But at all stages, what I'm doing is I'm controlling the framing of my questions and controlling the pathway of the call, because I want to minimize the prospect's room to give me answers that I do not like or that are not helpful. That's number one. And number two, if I do get objections, which you do get objections, I want to have as much authority, leverage, and positioning to be able to handle those objections effectively. That happens when you control the theme, the energy, the frequency of your questions. Feedback, questions, Anders, and then we're going to pivot to Matt.
That's helpful. Yeah, it's sometimes when I ask stuff, people kind of go a different direction that I didn't think that they would go, and I think it's because I don't do enough control over the frame of the questions. So.
Yep. You're in an interesting position, because I think I've seen your skills get good. I think the biggest thing limiting you right now, like you already know, this is just an offer. It's being on a good one, but I also think that there are still skill set gaps. I know you're training with us and you've renewed. You've been with us for a while. But I want you, high priority number one is getting a better offer. Like in the next 2 weeks, you should, I know you have interviews coming up, so keep being picky and select something really, really good. And get data. But then once you're on that role, then is doing all the stuff I just mentioned to you here. And even on the roles you're on now, you're still getting some calls, doing this better, doing it right. Because I think that's one of your limiters right now. Okay. Matt, let's jump in. Let's rock and roll.
Yes, sir.
Lucas, I'll put you in the hot seat next time we run, maybe even one of the live calls, or one of the other calls, the group calls. We'll see.
No worries.
Let's go, Matt. Let's sell vending. Shall we do that?
Yeah, do my offer, sweet. Let's do it.
Perfect.
Do you want me to go right from the top, or like?
Yeah, you can start from the middle of the call, like from the beginning of the call. Yeah, Lucas, Anders, let's stay locked in here. This is not just for Matt. Me and Matt have our own time. This is for the group, but still for Matt also. All right, let's go.
Sweet. Tim, how's it going, man?
Doing good, man. Doing a busy day of work, but all's well.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Is that a Michael Scott poster I see behind you there?
It is. How'd you know that? It's oddly specific that you knew that. I have a different poster. You want to see it? I have a better one. It's pretty good. This one. Different one.
Ah, good stuff. Like to see that. Some real studs on there. Well, man, we'll jump straight into it. Once you've are you able to lock in? Sorry, is that all right?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
No worries, man. No worries. Yeah, we'll jump straight in. So obviously, my name's Matt. I'm one of the team here at Vendingpreneurs. Sort of look after everything to do with onboarding, getting people in, and really helping them take that first step. So, call today has 3 sort of main things we want to tick off, right? First things first, Tim, is really understanding you, your position, where you want to be in vending, why you want it to happen, maybe some of the things that you're struggling with, and how you think we can best help. Secondly, is of course everything we do, right? Going over literally A to Z, what it looks like, how we can help, and if you think it's a great fit. If you do think it's a good fit, and of course we think you're right fit as well, we can talk investment, next steps, getting you onboarded. If not to worry, man. We go our separate ways, and hopefully at least there's a couple of insights that might help you moving forward in your career and your journey. Does that sound all good?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. So first things first for you, Tim, I guess, what is it you're actually looking for when it comes to vending? Like, where do you want this to be? What's the goals?
The business model is very, very intriguing to me. Coming from a real estate background, commercial real estate, I think one thing that I would love to rely on actually is my own network of people.
Network meaning what? Sorry.
Meaning I have a lot of relationships with commercial and family development properties in the towns and the township and the cities that I live in South Florida. So I have a lot of connections there. So getting vending machines into those locations, I think, of course, maybe a challenge. I'm not going to say it's easy, but I think I might have a bit of an advantage because I do have a wider network across Florida and then also in Georgia as well. So just it's very intriguing to me. I've been looking at things that you guys do for a while. Been looking at Mike's stuff. Been an avid follower of his. I read the newsletter.
Understand.
And that's that. So yeah, I'm interested
Go ahead, man.
to see what you guys
So
do.
for you, right, where in terms of like, let's say 12 months down the line, a year from now, right, where do you really want this to be in terms of numbers? Like how much do you want it to be bringing in for yourself?
I don't know if I think in terms of those numbers exactly. Like I set a 1 year timeline. I don't know if I even have thought of that necessarily.
Well, let's set a standard for you. Like for you, in order to, if you could look in the future right now and see Tim a year down the line, and for you to say, you know what, I did a pretty good job. I made a good success of this in a year down the line. How much do you need to be bringing in?
I think a nice 5-figure a month sum would feel good. So if I was seeing 10K in revenue at least per month, and then even 10 to 20K in revenue and profit margins, I think could be pretty high on this. So yeah, 10 to 20K in revenue would be nice. I could see that definitely.
When you say that would be nice, what's the reason and the rationale behind that? Is it to like sort of replace the current income or just to add some things on? Like what's the meaning behind all this for you?
I don't know if I'm saying I want to replace it. So I'm 47 right now. And I've been in real estate for the last, dear God, coming up probably on 20 years.
Yeah.
The firm that I'm working with, I'm a partner and I'm part of an advisory firm and I'm a partner in the firm. So I have a bit of weight I can pull in terms of customizing, controlling my own schedule, meetings I want to go to. But I do see a future where retirement's around the corner.
Around the corner, meaning what, in another 20 years, or like are we talking?
No, around the corner, my friend, around the corner. I'm talking by probably 55. By 55, so the next 8 years, I definitely want to be retired, but if I could. And to do that, I'm going to need a second, another stream of income. I'll still always be affiliated with the firm because once you're a partner, you then go and sit on board of directors, and that's just kind of you'll be the old guy on the board that everyone's going to try to get rid of. But
understood, man. Understood. I get you. So for you, it's building up like a secondary income to almost have, I would say, an ability to retire early, but also more stability throughout that. Would that be correct?
Yep. So to be able to go into retirement comfortably, to have another business that I'm pushing. I also am running a remote cleaning business. That's not as profitable as I would like. The business model is it's a little bit too digital. I'm the kind of guy who wants to be around it, driving in my truck. I'm comfortable with that. Going to properties, shaking hands. Remote cleaning is not like that. So
understood.
It's not for me. But
and you mentioned obviously you've been sort of part of this firm for a long time, and there's a lot of benefits to come with that. Do you mind me asking how much you're bringing in sort of month to month now?
As in, sorry, Matt, I have to write a note.
Sorry.
Okay, what are we asking him?
Yeah, you mentioned there was obviously a lot of you've been there the sort of firm for a long time. There's a lot of things that come with that. How much do you mind me asking how much you're sort of bringing in right now, month to month?
Well, I'm bringing in well over 6 figures a year. Well over 6 figures.
Okay. And with that 6 figures and with this other business going on as well, are you unable to sort of retire when you want to? Is that, I know as you said, around the corner being another 8 years away. Is that something that's not possible right now?
It's not. It's not. I mean, well, it depends on the kind of life you want to have after retirement, right? So
what kind of life do you want to have?
Well, I've got a boat I'm paying off. That's one. I've got a boat in the dock. My girlfriend and I want to marry her, definitely. Like pop the question, and I'm an old guy, so I kind of want to get it right one time. Like I got one, so I want to pop the question to her. Do a nice overseas wedding, the whole thing. So when you don't have cash flow coming in, the moment I step out of the firm, everything's going to drop. Again, they'll still be giving me a couple pennies every month as an advisor, as a partner, but that's just shares, and that's not going to be consistent. It's quarterly, actually, not even monthly. So I'm good. There's a life you want to maintain. There's a life, and I unfortunately haven't played the ownership game in real estate either. So I, outside of my own home, I'm not holding investments in any properties right now.
Yeah. I got
So
you.
yeah.
I got you. Do you mind if I challenge you on something, Tim? Is that okay? You open to sort of hearing a little perspective?
Yeah, anything,
Yeah.
please.
So I know you mentioned obviously, wanting to have this, you want to retire around the corner, being 8 years away. You're 47 now, the goal is 55. Being 47, knowing that you want to get married, knowing that, the time is running out. Time moves pretty quick, right? Isn't 8-year goal and thinking that you have another 8 years before this really needs to work and before you can, step back and have that comfortable life? Is that time period and that mindset that comes with I've got another 8 years, do you think that's best helping you when it comes to actually making changes, not only in terms of starting a business, but what that gives back to you and ultimately your life?
Pause. Why are you challenging this? I'm confused.
Yeah, I thought because I was thinking
I haven't
I
haven't avoided anything. I am being a little bit sharp with you, but I haven't avoided anything yet. Secondly, my 8-year goal, I didn't say I don't want success before 8 years. I said I just want to retire by 8 years. When did I? Maybe I know Anders and Lucas, you were listening too. Did I say any avoidance around 8 years?
No, but I thought I need to do it because by thinking that it's only when you mentioned about the wanting to get married and stuff, and I was like, I didn't want to my thought being is I want to retire and I want to do this around the corner. 8 years is not around the corner. 8 years is a long fucking time. Do you really think that having a goal for 8 years is actually going to best serve you well? That was
I'm confused. Okay, let's separate this. You said having a goal for 8 years. You're saying have a goal that he wants to retire in 8 years? Like he should want to retire in 2 years or something?
Yeah, he thinks life is precious. He wants to do that stuff. Why wait 8 years? Basically, that was my thought behind it. But
this is one of those weird ones, Matt, for you. I think this just doesn't make sense to me. I'm confused.
I don't know. I thought I needed to. I just thought I needed to challenge it. There's no urgency there.
He said he wants. Well, no, there is urgency. I think he said. Well, this is a hard one. I'm playing a very complicated prospect. So he said he wants to retire by 8 years. That's an intention. He said. I don't think on a call you're going to get him to say I want to retire faster. Like he wants to retire in 8 years. You didn't ask why he wants to retire. You haven't asked anything about the firm yet. You didn't ask that, so you don't have that information. If he would have said, I'm frustrated with the firm and I don't like the office politics and the dynamic and having a boss, blah, blah, blah. Sure. But yeah, Anders said that. And it seems, guys, don't just tell me I'm right if you don't think it is, but honestly push back if you think I'm incorrect. I want to stay intellectually honest with the prospects I'm playing. I feel from every indicator I'm giving you that I don't really hate my job. I said I have flexibility with how I can work.
Yeah, which is why I did frustrations of the job. I'm more so anchoring to the time that you might lose by not acting now, because there's no.
But it's hard to anchor to that if there's no frustration backing that, because he's not losing time. If I'm in a good position, I'm not losing time. Does it make sense? So the one thing I think is missing is to figure out why I want to retire early.
Yeah,
I would have asked that. Like, why 8 years from now? What led to that? Because you did do one version of a challenge. You said you're not making enough where you could just retire like in 8 years and be good with what you make now. Good job. That was nice. But then the second thing that I'm curious about is why does this guy want to retire in 8 years? And he said retire early. He didn't say, I didn't say like just retire at 65. I said I want to retire and get out of the firm. But I didn't say why. We don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's what's tripped me up, because for me, if someone says I want to get out of the job, they don't go, oh, I hate my job and it's shit, I want to get out in 8 years' time. They say, let me fucking out of now. I want to get out of this now. Do you know?
But you got to clarify. You got to figure it out. You get what I'm saying, right? Like you're
I hear what you're saying.
You're making assumptions about something.
I went down that one, but
yeah, I don't know why he wants to. I mean, I have what's in my own head, but where do we pick up from? I'll let you decide, Matt.
Yeah, I could take it back to there. Like, am I allowed to, or no?
Back to where? Yeah, you decide. I don't care. You've role played enough. You get the game. Where do you want to go from?
Yeah, so I guess Tim, why is it you want to retire early, and not in the case of just stop working and put your feet up, but what's really triggering you from wanting to cut that career early as opposed to doing it the whole way through as the normal retirement age?
I don't think I've ever been a normal guy. It just hasn't been me. I've always been one to rush a little bit and do everything faster. My teachers in school, they always call me Speedy, just running around. Like I'm always doing everything fast. That's me. So I dropped out of university early before I was supposed, not early, but just dropped out, got into understanding real estate at a young age, got into the firm early. you know, I have some savings. Not again, I have savings. I've got investments. You know, stocks. Without getting into too much detail, but yeah, I think I've had enough. I've had enough of the
Enough of the
I've
what?
had enough.
Sorry to cut you off. A lot of people in your situation, right, where they have this good quality of life around them, right? They have these investments. They're doing, you know, relatively well compared to the average Joe. A lot of people be happy in that. Why is it that you do
something
want
I'll give you, Matt, as well, that could be interesting. This is diabolical. I've never remind me. We could break this down on our 1-to-1 as well and go deeper into it. So your words are good. Actually, yeah, I can't go too deep into this now because it's just going to derail the session. Very quick. Contrast. In your body language, you can display something on your face, and your words could say something different. So I know what you're trying to do. You're seeing a lot of people who are in a situation where they're doing relatively well, but what you're trying to do is imply it's not really well compared to where you want to be. Good. But you can sell it more by in your face and body language, not implying he's doing well. So here's how I would say that. Here's what you did. Just watch my face for a sec. So here's what you did. So a lot of people who are doing relatively well, they good, but the words just are speaking for themselves, like relatively well. Okay, cool. Versus what you can do is a lot of people who are doing relatively well.
Yeah.
Is it the definition of relatively changes now? I'm actually like disrespecting the meaning of doing relatively well, which implies you're not doing well. Yeah. I could do it again, more extreme. So a lot of people who are like say I'm talking to a doctor who's doing $250 a year. A lot of people who are making money in medicine, you know, like without a lot of, you know, the freedom. So that I just shat on making money in medicine. You could do this. All right, let's continue. You were challenging this idea of doing relatively well. Let's go.
Yeah. So, Tim, I guess
you were going to do an anti-sell, I think.
No, yeah, like people in your situation, right, where they're doing decent, right? They're doing okay when it comes to money. They've got options, they've got stock, they've got all these other things going on, right? They'd be pretty happy and pretty sweet moving forward in life as they are.
Oh, I am happy. I'm happy. I don't think that I'd say I'm unhappy. I'm pretty happy.
And being happy is good. Are you 100% happy in life right now? Like if you were to look at life and be like, you know what, I'm screwed. Would you say you're 100% happy, able to retire?
Able to retire? No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not comfortable retiring now. 100% happy. I think that's a stretch, I guess, but I think life is pretty good, man. I wake up and I do a gratitude practice every day. I literally live on the beach, man.
That's great.
I'm pretty happy.
Yeah,
but able to retire, no. But you know, I'm pretty happy, man.
You know, we should absolutely be grateful for the position we were in. You know, like one of my mentors actually taught me this recently about gratitude, right? In terms of being where we want to be and being in a position where you can retire at the age of 55, you can sort of leave that job early and, you know, do whatever that life looks like, which we will get into. I sort of do want to know what that looks like for you, Tim. Do you think that, you know, having a perspective of I'm good and I'm happy is best serving you compared to where you want to be, which is I'm great and I've got an amazing life around me?
Yeah.
No, because my head's fucking racing because I'm challenging that. We've still got the other question.
This is a hard one to challenge. You can get it. You can get it.
But you've derailed it like 3 times, and I'm like, fuck. I'm trying to connect all the dots.
So the first problem is, stick with me, guys. The first problem, and I hope that a lot of people watch this who join level 5. This is a really good session. I think it's really intimate. The first issue is that you challenge the idea of me being happy. That's dangerous as fuck because similar to what I told Anders with Lucas, it's a similar psychology. Like I can't imagine that's been feeling. I can't imagine how that's been feeling, something like that. I mean, he's working, he's doing okay. He has 3 days off. He has work-life balance to some extent. So he's not going to identify with feeling terrible. This prospect isn't going to identify with feeling not happy. You can't use that. You have to niche the language down. So I was actually happy you were doing an anti-sell. That was good. You were pushing back. That was fine. What you were doing it on, though, was not congruent to where the prospect is going to be and where he would respond to. Yeah. We're getting a little bit advanced here, but this is what level 5 is for.
It fucking threw me off because again, it was derailed off like 2 different questions now. Because my original question was, of course, initially, why is it you want to leave the job? Then it's how good it is. Then it's, but if it's so great, why do that? And I was trying to piece back, how can I reframe and get it back on?
Let me make a statement that's more relevant to everyone, and then I'll give a little bit of a demo on it. So Anders, Lucas, and future watchers. So it's very important that when you're challenging something that a prospect gives you, or when you're inquiring into even something simple as fear and desire stage, you know, consequence, future pace, something simple like that, this is an old school fundamental, like an old fundamental we've been teaching in pro from day one, but it's always good to remember it. You have to ask your questions within the scope of what the prospect is going to resonate with. What Matt, what you're struggling with, here's the thing, is I'm playing a prospect who has a lot of walls up because he's insulated himself with a good life. So there's not a lot of cracks for you to penetrate, pause through, if that makes sense.
So would you challenge more on
You need to give Anders a symbol.
the mindset of being like, you get one spin in life, is good really when you want to be, or do you want to be great and have like amazing legacy, all that shit? Like, would you do it like that, or?
So hold on. Well, first of all, I've never said that I don't want anything more. I never said it. So you're almost challenging me too much. Like an anti-sell doesn't, you don't need to challenge always like, you said this, is that really true? But you can anti-sell. It's almost like going negative and just when someone says, I think this might be able to help you, say there's no reason it can't. That's like a micro version of an anti-sell.
Yeah.
Guys, try to stick with me, okay? I know it's early unders. Lucas, I know you're burned out by the weekend. Stick with me. So it's like a micro version of an anti-sell. This is the same thing. So right now you're trying to challenge me, but what you're trying to challenge me on is just too aggressive. You're like, are you okay being good? Yeah, but I'm not even playing an avoided prospect either. That's the hard part, right? I'm not avoiding anything. I've made it very, very clear to you that I want to retire. I don't have the liquid to be able to retire comfortably. What else did I mention? I mentioned having a boat that I'm paying off. Yeah. It's crazy shit. So he's clearly made good money, but not comfortable, which means that if I cut the income I'm making, something that was interesting that I would have loved to know is how much is he going to be making and getting paid once he retires, because he said when he retires, they're still going to give him money from the firm. Yeah. But you didn't ask that. He probably wouldn't say the exact number, but you could say ballpark, brother, like not brother, ballpark, my man. How much are you going to be making once you retire? What's going to be coming in there? That's one thing you could have done to leverage, to create more frustration. Then you have to find the little chinks in the armor. You have to find the little cracks in the wall that the prospect builds around themselves. When you have a buyer who appears like they're doing well, you have to find the little cracks as to where things are less than ideal. But you have to do it in a way that works with who they are and where they're at. If you don't do that, you're going to go past the prospect and start to lose them. So you're starting to lose me now because you're going on this challenging wave that doesn't need to happen. So I would anti-sell him. So this is how I would do it. If I was in your shoes right now, here's probably how I'd anti-sell. I would say, I don't even know if I'd anti-sell though, because I've been super explicit and open about everything. You just kind of need to go consequence. But let's mess with it. I'll see if I can take your path and see if it would work. Let's do it live. I'll mess with it. So then for you, Tim, like, oh, not so then for you, it would be different scripting. I'm curious about one thing that's kind of interesting to me, because you have this relatively comfortable life. You have some income coming in. You have some investments. You're doing decently okay. What's the real drive to now? You can't anti-sell. Doesn't make sense. Can't even anti-sell. I lied earlier. I said I liked that you're anti-selling, but it didn't make sense. Sorry, everyone. Tim got his coaching wrong. But I blame Matt because I had more faith in Matt's process as a level 4. So it's Matt's fault. Matt did this to you all.
Apologies.
No. So I'm not gonna anti-sell here. The reason I just stopped it is because I don't see any path. The coaching was still good, Anders. I just genuinely shouldn't have conceded to Matt that he should have anti-sold. Everything else was correct. But I don't see any path where you can even anti-sell in Matt. Because I thought of it in my head. Let's say I asked him, let's say why not just like keep doing what you're doing, or why not retire later? But he said he doesn't want to. He said he wants to retire now, so he needs more money.
But that's again not true. It's not now. Now is 8 years away. But he needs to take action on it now to prepare for 8 years from now. But is he aware of that by having the mindset of 8 years is chill?
But he doesn't have a business. That's the big thing. He doesn't have a business right now. So him not having a business, he said he doesn't even have real estate holdings like property. He has savings and stock. I gave that information away. Did I not, guys? Yeah. I said that. I have real estate. I said I have stocks and I have savings. But I said I don't, and I said I have the remote cleaning business that I don't like. I didn't like it. I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to defunct it. However, I don't have any established business that's going to help me go into retirement, which means that I'm looking and I'm trying to go early. I'm even building the character too. I'm trying to go early and get started on it now, so that come retirement time, I have a fully functioning vending machine business. There's a lot of paths here, actually, Matt.
I guess I wasn't trying to answer. I was trying to get pain around oh, you can't do that now then? You can't just retire now, you're making good money. But then, yeah, I think that's that.
But I gave it to you. I gave it to you. I said I have expenses, man. If I want to live well.
Yeah, dig into those expenses, and that's what you said about the retirement. What if you don't have that then? But then again, is that more because it's biz op? I'm thinking current pain rather than consequence pain. That would obviously be
But it is a current pain. It is a current pain. He can't make the decision to retire now. He's far away from it. He's far away from the decision because he's already in retirement headspace. And also, bro, Matt, you were correct. I'm pretty sure that if he could retire in 2 years, he probably would. I'm pretty sure he could, but he can't.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of data missing. Why does he want to retire? Never got that. I want to know why. Second thing I want to know is, like, in retirement, what are expenses and things going to look like that would lead to him being frustrated with what he has now? That's also huge. Does it make sense?
It does. Yeah. That was just fucking difficult, especially when I got derailed, and I was like, "Fucking hell!" Like, what?
But this prospect that I was playing was sneaky difficult. It was very sneaky. Why was it tricky? Anders, do you know this? This is a sales IQ moment. Do you know why it was a tricky prospect? Not for the reasons that normally people say, "Oh my God, he's a hard prospect." This is different.
I think so. How do I say it? He was tricky because he was saying, "Oh, I really need this," but he was also giving a ton of reasons why he doesn't need it. So it just kind of confuses how we dig. That's what I think. I think it's wrong based off your facial expression.
Well, no, I no joke. I literally had to look at something from a client that just came to my phone, and I had to quickly glance at it. So that was my facial expression. Apologies. Sorry. The reason why it was difficult is not because I was pushing back, but it was because I was very certain in my own accomplishments, and I maintained an energy and frequency that was not in the pain state, whereas I had a lot of pain. So what happened, Matt, is I think you bit onto that frequency a little bit too much, and you kind of just didn't pressure onto pain.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Let me I want to do this. Let me hold on a second. What time do I have my next meeting? Matt, what time do you have to go? What time do you guys have to dip?
Maybe half an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on
easy
fucking calendar.
Can we run this again then? Can we do this again? No, we don't need to do the whole thing. Anders, I don't know if you want to hang out. If you're gonna dip, then it just turns into one-on-one with me and Matt. I'm
super good to stay here.
Easy. Let's hang out. Matt, let's rerun this. We'll go vending again. Let's play a similar prospect. Okay. Or you know what we can even do being better. Anders, can you prospect it? Can you do that?
Do you want me to be that kind of guy?
Not the same person. I'm going to tell you the prospect to be, but I'll go into it as if I don't know you're going to be that person. But just you're a guy who's been in the Air Force. Let's say, like, just I'll make it as close to you as possible. But let's say you've been in the Air Force. You're like,
I don't identify with the Air Force.
I don't think you do either. But see you, Lucas. Let's pretend you've been in the Air Force. You're like 48, same age. You've had a great Air Force career. You have like a bunch of savings. And you're going to be leaving within the next 2 years for a fact. You're dipping out, but you're kind of like a bit decorated or whatever you guys would call that. And you're set up financially, you're pretty comfortable, but you, again, similar to what I just did, you have no businesses that you're running for the next couple years. You have like a few properties you have, but you don't not netting like proper income. So you want to have like 10 to 20K passive coming in so you can enjoy retirement without needing to burn through savings. Okay. You don't have the whole family and stuff. So let's not make it easy. We go give back to your grandkids and all that. You don't have that. You're just similar. You got a lady in your life, no kids. Okay. So very little to give back. I'm making this hard for myself. You don't have any of that. I don't need you to be bad faith. Like, dude, like, I don't care about any of this. Just be straight up, transparent, confident in yourself, the things you've accomplished. Life is great. I just want to see more about what you guys do and see maybe this could potentially help, that kind of guy.
Okay.
But I don't really need you guys.
Picture a perfect person who is this guy.
Easy.
So
all right. Let's rock and roll. I'm not going to intro the whole call. We'll pretend I already introed it. So Anders, when it comes to vending and just the journey ahead, where do you want to be exactly? Like what are you looking to get out of this business model?
Yeah, super interested in it. Yeah, out of the business model, it seems like it's a recurring type thing. If I could be making like 15K, maybe 20K a month from just this, that would be pretty chill. Yeah, yeah, just really just super open to like exactly what you guys do, kind of seeing
Amazing.
what this can look like.
15, 20K for the purpose of what? Meaning, what are we doing with all that?
Just
Not
nice
meaning
to
what are you
have.
spending it on, but I'm saying what's the
Yeah.
goal with it?
Yeah, I'm retiring here in the next like 2 years.
Okay.
And I have a pension, I have stuff coming in.
What do you do
But
for work
I
now?
also Air Force. I'm a
Oh, okay.
major in the Air Force.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for your support. Are you from Jersey or are you from
God bless our
Minnesota?
troops. No, I'm from Jersey, actually. I'm from Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
but like I
you
said
left the
earlier, I live
country?
in Hungary.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, the wife is out here.
yeah,
So I'm gonna gotta
appreciate
get
it.
out here.
Very
Yeah.
sweet.
But talk to me. So you were
Um,
saying retiring soon.
Yeah, I'm just like retiring in the next 2 years. I have pension, I have some properties. Um, so like I could retire comfy, but I couldn't retire like super cool and like go like rent boats and stuff. So that's just kind of what I want to do.
What does super cool retirement mean? What does that look like to you?
I would like to buy a boat, a fairly nice boat, and probably hang out in like the Bahamas. That's not
Oh, I
like
see.
a need to do. That's just like an idea I think is super. That would be more cool than just like retiring and staying at home.
What's the harm in making a want to need? Why not?
Well, it's just like if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna be like depressed. It's just like
Sure.
I don't know.
But if you could make it happen, would you rather?
Yeah, I would rather that happen.
Of
Or at
course.
least something like that. Like that vision's not super clear in my head either.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just have more money to do more cool stuff, I'd say.
Of course. And how old are you again?
48.
48. With the way things are right now, because I assume you've had a decent career. How long have you been in the armed forces?
Yeah, I joined when I was 18.
Oh wow.
Yeah, joined when I was 18,
Wow.
enlisted,
Okay.
went into college, went officer route,
Yeah.
flew some bomber aircraft and then cargo
Uh-huh.
in the later stage. So I've traveled a bunch with that. I've seen a bunch of cool
30.
places.
Happy 30 years of serving. Amazing. Then the question I would ask is, with the position you're in right now, you wouldn't be comfortable to go like buy a boat, invest in other things. I'm actually curious more about that and go do the whole traveling consistently. You couldn't do that right now?
It would be a huge stretch, I would say. Like I could do it, but then I'd be like check my bank account pretty often, having to do a bunch of math, and I could buy a small boat. I could buy a small boat and move to like South America. But if I want like a proper boat, if I want to be in like Greece instead of South America, like I would need more money coming in. And I don't want to sit around and like do nothing either. Like I think men need purpose. So
can you see that timeline approaching fast?
Yeah. I mean, 2 years goes by very quickly. And this is also like it's been on my head for maybe the past like 10 years. Like I knew I was going to do my
let's
full
make
30.
it more difficult. Breaking the role play. Let's make it more difficult. Don't just comply on this. So 2 years, that was a good answer. But then add in and qualify it and be like, I'm also okay taking longer if needed be. Let's just do that to fuck me up. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, man, I see the timeline coming. Also, if I had to, I could just stay in, work like a desk job. I get paid well.
Okay.
So that's another option also. Not that I super want
Well,
to do it,
why
but
not
if I
do?
have
Well,
to,
why
I
not
can.
just do that? Because I feel like that's the safe route. And I'll be real with you. Like starting a business is not an easy thing. Working in vending, and I'm going to give you all the details on it, all the rundown on. I don't know how familiar you are with Mike and our process. But vending business is one of the best businesses that you could scale. Especially, we get a lot of people that are not kids that are age 40 and over because they like the physical hands-on location territories, right? And then you can also have people manage that for you. So they like that you can touch it, feel it. It's not like some ecomm shit, like it's AI, crypto, weird stuff, right? So I'll get to that. But before that, building a business is just difficult in itself. So why not just do desk job, man, and just save more money, put in another 5-10 years of effort and do that? Like, why not just do that path? It's easier, probably.
I mean, I want to get the best use of my time, like I've been Air Force in for the past 30 years. If I stay in, it would be like a desk job. Like I can no longer be a rated flyer after my 30 years in. So I'd work at like a desk. Which
Do you
yeah,
not
it's,
want
it's
to do
cool,
that?
it's safe, it's secure, you still get like healthcare.
Yeah.
No, I don't really want to do it.
Sure.
If I have to, I could.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be making money somewhere else that just lets me like retire while still working in like the vending machine business. I'd rather do that.
Makes sense. Instead of us calling it like just a want, could we label it as something that you are going to make happen? You know what I mean? Because you're referring to it as if I could, but I mean, if you're the kind of person, I don't know who you are, I don't know you well, you're just meeting here, but if you're the kind of person who is saying, who's like, I'm sharp, I learn fast, I'm willing to put energy, time, and money. I don't mean that's just paying us. I'm talking about you investing in your own business, in like learning how to build a business, something that's stable, something that is sustainable. Then a lot of those wants could just turn to needs or things that you say, hey, I'm going to access in my life and I'm going to build. Like, why not use that language?
Yeah. I mean, I could for sure. Yeah, my brain's not super made up on like I'm gonna do this, like not with the vending business is not made up on that. Like there's other options too. I'm gonna look at. But yeah, we can say that I need to not do Air Force stuff. We can do that for sure.
What's holding you back from being made up on the vending business? And what have you seen that made you feel like this may not be for you?
I would say I haven't seen enough, honestly. I mean, I'm a like decorated guy. I've deployed like 10 times. I've done cool stuff. You probably read about somewhere. We don't have to talk about that right now. But like if there's a best option out there, like I want to find that. Just like in combat, right? Like we plan everything 2-3 times before we go do something.
Of course. So. I'm pretty sure in combat there's also decisive action too. That's the thing too.
In the moment when you can't take a day, yeah.
Yeah, of course. If let's say you were to have all the information made sense and it lined up and you were like, this is literally what I've been looking for and the business model fits me. Would you be, I'm not saying you need to, but would you be more inclined at least or a little more open to being more decisive as a decision maker to say, this is the business model I'm going to use? And again, no pressure here, bro. That's not my style. I'm not one of those dudes who does that, but I do value the time. I value moving with speed. So let's say you found all the information. I was able to present it to you in a way that made sense. And you were like, damn, this is what the universe like lined up for me. And I love it. Would you at least be open-minded enough to say, hey, I'd consider taking a step in that direction and moving forward with it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd consider it for sure.
Easy. Let's look more about your situation right now. So just so I get everything right. So wanting to retire 2 years, kind of, you have that, to be clear again, do you have that internal commitment to doing what you can to make that happen? So you move it more towards, hey, it's a strong desire, almost even a need versus just a want. Can we move that? Language?
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah. Thanks for doing that. I feel like that just cleared things up. Yeah.
It's just putting it into motion, putting into something that we set as a standard, like that we set for ourselves. So got that. What does it feel like right now, knowing that you have in your own mind, wanting to retire, wanting to be able to create like that next phase of life after 50, after the next 2 years, but you don't have a business to fall back on? It's all just been Air Force income. What's the feeling there?
And all feels like I have to do something.
Yep.
That's what it feels like.
And does that feel good or does it feel more on the bad side? I'm not saying you don't feel motivated. I'm sure that's the good, but I feel like there's probably another side to it, which is pressure, I would assume. If it's like, hey, I want to retire, but I do not have a fallback as a business, that's interesting.
There's some pressure, yeah. I do still have 2 years. Not that I'm going to wait for 2 years to actually get started, but like I have 2 years to figure out the right path.
Why have you not built a business before? Because you're 48, and I'm sure that you've had like leave time. I'm sure you've had time to look into businesses. Why have you not built one before? Pause. So Matt, how are we feeling into this call? And then I want to explain what I'm doing right now. Actually, first I'm going to explain it because I feel like I'm going to forget if I don't. So I actually fucked up. I didn't fuck up in a way where like that bad, but I'm realizing I'm doing something that I don't love. Anders, you're prospecting amazing right now. So I'm going into more of a because I'm trying to still create more pain and frustration around him not having access to these tools now. But Anders just escaped it by saying low urgency again and reinforcing that. All good. I'm not going to try to fight him on that. It's just I don't see a path where that would make the most sense. So what I'm doing is I'm redirecting immediately. That's why I just pivoted completely. And I'm going to go, why haven't you done it so far? And I'll squeeze pain out of that instead. Make sense?
Yeah.
That's my pivot. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
You guys feeling all right?
I'm gonna
Would you-
squash it.
On a biz op, would you anchor why? Like, would you try to get a limiting belief out of why they've not done it yet, rather than like what actual
just wanna
challenge
know.
we run into?
I just want to know why he hasn't. Oh, you're saying generally for biz op? Yeah, generally it's going to be something like limiting belief or
Yeah.
biz op style. It wouldn't be very sophisticated unless it is. Okay, let's go. So, Honor, you said you're going to squash it. What does that mean, bro?
I was gonna give you all of the reasons why I haven't, and then I realized that those reasons don't actually make sense. So you're gonna beat it.
Just be realistic and keep being challenging. I like it. It's like challenging in good faith. Great prospecting. So I'm gonna have to leave in a second. But let's go back. So I cut him off I kind of gently cut him off, and I was saying, well, real quick. So why is it that you haven't built a business already then? Because you're 48, so you've had a bit of time, I'd assume. I don't mean that in any disrespectful way, but you've had some time. So why?
No, I get it. I know. I think I've just been more focused on actual like Air Force stuff. Like we travel a ton. Like when I work, it's like where I'm flying to like Germany or I'm flying like the South Pacific, you know. So like trips are coming up. Like it's more just like that's the priority there. Now like this is more so like a priority, but I really haven't done anything. I've looked around. Like I've been on these kinds of calls, just like gather information, gather
That's a terrible
insights.
sign, Anders. And again, I say this with all due respect. That's a terrible sign. You've been on a bunch of these calls, and you still have not leaned into a model to start fast tracking retirement.
Why is it terrible? Because it's just me getting like a site for like the actual space.
I'll explain why it's terrible. It's because, and I don't think a prospect this age would use the word space. Probably wouldn't know what that means exactly,
Okay.
but we'll continue. It's terrible because maybe terrible could be a strong word, but I see it as terrible because you can make money with so many different business models. I think that this is probably one of the best 5 out there. Maybe the best one, depending on your demographic, age, and like just how you value business and the kind of business you want to run. Because there are so many ways to make income online or offline and build scalable businesses going into retirement. And by the fact that you've had calls with different business models or different people who are teaching these things, that either means that they didn't do a good job serving you, which potentially could be the case, and they didn't show up enough and give you enough information data to help you feel like, hey, this is the one that aligns, or it means that you're procrastinating and putting off the decision. And when you saw something that did work for you, you found ways to not commit to it. It's one of the two. It can't be either one. At least how I see it, because I have these conversations daily, my friend, and we've created. I don't want to quote specific numbers for legal reasons. We can't do that, but we've had many 6- and 7-figure earners come out of this. People who were similar positions as you. We had a guy who what was this dude's name? Bradley worked in law, worked for a New York law firm, retired a little bit early at 59. Came into vending, scaled the business to 7 figures within about, I think it was 18 months of working with us, and he ended up joining Mike's higher tier, mentorship. And he did that similar position as you, and he was like a decision maker. He jumped on it and moved. Interesting.
Okay, interesting.
Why didn't you find anything? Why didn't none of those things land for you? Because I feel like it's one of those two things. Either the business model wasn't for you, or not meaning it wasn't for you, meaning they didn't present it in the right way, because you can make money with all these, to be honest, or you put it off. So what was going on?
Probably a little bit of both. I'll explain that. Maybe like I think maybe I've been on like 5 calls, right? So I think like 2 or 3 of those calls was like were a bad fit. Like the guy I was talking to was like 18, 19 or something. I was like, what the heck does this guy know? I think their business is
sorry.
not
What is his Anders? What does his age have to do with what he knows, my friend?
I was just asking him. I was just asking him questions, and like he didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
He can like, I don't know. He's 18. I don't know, what does he know about like real world life?
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the business model can help you make money. Well, I could be 18.
I don't know.
I could be 18.
Do
This
we
is
get
not-
18-year-old, 19-year-olds in the military all the time, and they
Yeah.
are a dumb pack, just being straight up. Like that's just what
But again,
we see.
I don't understand. Let's say the business model can help you make it can help you make money, and 18-year-old is the person who's presenting that information to you. What does that have to do with the information that the person presenting is 18?
I think he just explained it wrong, or maybe
I
that's
see.
something I
Okay.
need to work on. Like maybe
No,
I just
but
hate
if you
18-year-olds.
explained it wrong, they didn't show up and serve you right. Then there we go. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying because the person was 18, the business model couldn't make you money. I was like, my friend, that's a interesting belief.
But I mean, one of them, like the owner was like 18. I was like, dude, this guy just got out of high school and he's saying that he can make people like 6 figures. I don't trust him.
Yeah,
you know.
I got you. And what about the others?
A few of them they could have worked. I think it was like Amazon FBA, and the other one was
It's a
XYZ type company. What did they do? I forget. Some kind of like in-person business model. It's kind of similar to this. I don't know. I think it was like chairs or something. It was like a truck route or something.
Yeah. Probably furniture scaling. Probably that's one. Remote furniture.
Yeah, that sounds about it.
That is a real business model. Actually, it's a new business that people are making. I'm not joking. Yeah.
Interesting. So those two could have worked. I just didn't jump on it.
Why? You could, if you would have done that, maybe you'd be making money now.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that was like 6 months ago, so I probably would be making money.
You get what I'm saying, Anders. I don't want to. I'm not here to pick a bone with you. I have these calls, and I like to challenge people. That's my personality. So please forgive me if I'm being a little bit forward, but that's what I do. It's to get you to try to think differently and change the way you make decisions. That's what we're on the call, because I think the way you've made decisions so far when it comes to business, purely as, and I say this with all the respect in the world, again, for just what you've accomplished, being in our military and being a leader there, I respect that. But right now I'm going to remove the respect, okay, and just talk to you real, because my job is to make you money and do whatever I need to do to help you make money, okay? So I hope that's okay with you, by the way.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so good. So you being in a position where you are a kind of the company man, right? You do as you're told, have the orders, ensure you lead others, but you're a man of the company. You're about to go into, or you want to, do you desire to go into a new phase of life where you are creating freedom for yourself and you're pursuing something that is greater that you just haven't had yet as you go into that other season of life, right? The other half. Going into that, if you want to be a business owner and you want to have that flexibility, that freedom, is going to require you to make decisions and think differently than you have up until this point. So what I have more things to ask you here, and there's stuff I want to go into. I don't have much. We're close to the point where I'm going to break down what we do. But before I go into anything else and ask you anything, I want to know if you're open, willing, and wanting to change the way you make decisions, to lean more into the decisiveness, more into the willingness here and now, because I believe that's what's required to get you to where you want to be in the future. Are you at least open to that?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I'm open to it.
There's no pressure. This is not a pressure. This is not a
well,
thing.
No, I
saying,
see what you're saying.
Honors,
right?
Send me a check. I'm not going to say that. But I'm telling you, at the end of this call, if I think we can make you money, I'm going to have a conversation with you about what the next steps look like. And when we get to that point, I at least want you to be in a space where you're ready to have a conversation around commitment and say, let's do it. Or if you say it's not for you, that is fine. And I'm good. I'm okay. But I want you to at least be in a headspace where you're saying, I'm going to make decisions more decisively and differently, like the business owner I want to be. That's it.
I can do that. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's helpful. That's probably why I'm not making money yet.
Yeah. Well, you are making money. You're just not making it the way you want. Yeah. You're comfortable, but you're not thriving, right? Look, what if this continues for you? If you stay in a position where over the next 5-10 years, retirement approaches, even if you put it off, delay it, whatever you decide to do, but retirement approaches and you don't have that business that's set, and you're in this position where you're comfortable but not thriving, what is the downside of that for you going into retirement as a man who's going to be in his mid-50s, as a man who's going to be going into approaching 60s? What's the downside?
No, I see what you're saying.
I'm going to stop, guys, because the rest of the call I think should be pretty clean based on all what I did here, and I think it would be an objectionless close, or he would just say it's not for him. One of the two. Welcome to the end of the video. You made it. Don't just watch this information in this training and use it for theory and entertainment, but actually take it and apply it to your live calls. If you would like me and my team to help you when it comes to sales and help you increase what you earn as a closer and help you break into sales if you're a complete beginner and increase your earnings, be able to hit months of 10K, 20K plus in commissions, the way that our top performers do, you can book a strategy call with myself or my team down below. It's a 15-minute call. We don't sell you anything on the call. There's no pitch, but you can book a strategy call where we'll ask you a couple of questions and figure out if we can even help you, if there will be alignment between us working with you to get to your goals in sales, the way we have for our top performers, the way we have for the reps that have come through our protocols training program and have made a bunch of money. If you would like us to help you, and if there might be alignment, book a strategy call down below. The link is right below this video, and we'd be happy to have a conversation with you. We won't pitch you anything. We'll just see if there's a way that we can help, okay? Take care. Use this. Apply it. If you want us to help you, book a strategy call, and I'll see you on that call or I'll see you on my next video. Take care.